Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be continuing working on the Crochet Cafe booklet that I got from Amazon. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I am going to get back to the next section of this booklet. When we started, we did breakfast. I see we've got 2 eggs here, but when I saw the instructions, it looked like it just said 1 egg. Oh well. Anyway, so for today, we are going to do, I believe this is lunch. Yeah, we're going to do the lunch section. And I am going to be working with the Bento Box. Yay! I am gifting this to my goddaughter, and I love that this has a lot of pieces. So I think that would be really great for us to work on and send her. If you thus far enjoy this booklet or interested in this booklet, go ahead to the description box. I do have the Amazon link in the description box below. I am not an affiliate with them or anything like that. This is just something that I found, and it is really super ultra cute. So I highly recommend getting these. These videos are supplements to the instructions in this book. So if you really want to make these items, I highly suggest that you get the booklet. So for each video, I always do new stitches at least 3 times step by step so you can learn that stitch. And then I do go over the instructions if there's anything kind of confusing. I'll try to help you guys out with that. Alright, so with that, let us start this booklet. We are going to work on first, I believe, the little container for the bento. So I'm going to try to breeze through these. I have a long list, you guys, of stuff that I've been requested to do. Please bear with me. It has grown large, and I really appreciate the requests. I will try to help everyone. I did get some new kits, and I'm going to try to punch those babies out, but I can only post so many videos in a day, so I'm going to try to get those out to you, but they will be done. Like I said, I just have to get these out of the way, and then within a month I'm going to end up doing other videos. Alright, so let's get started. It says to use a 3.75 millimeter hook. I actually don't have that. I have a 3.5 millimeter. So it is going to be a different size compared to yours. I'm also using my own yarn, so it's not going to be exactly what they're looking for. But the good thing about these projects is that you can use whatever yarn you want to use, whatever gauge size, whatever hook size that fits you. So you don't have to always go out and buy everything that they're asking you to buy, because I know that, like, not all of us have money just pouring out of the sky. Anyway, so let's get to this using light blue yarn. Now, if you need to speed up or slow down the video, go and click on the gear button in the corner of the screen. There's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talking, you could always lower the volume on your device and then click on the CC closed caption button. So we have to do chains for the first set of instructions. So how you set this up, I'm going to show you how to cast onto your hook using a slip knot. So what you want to do is take your ring, pinky, and thumb and just hold one end here, and then you're going to take your index and your middle finger and hold it apart like this. Then take your hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around, and now you can slide this needle up and down the yarn. Slide it down towards your thumb, take your middle finger here and just hold it where it crosses, because we're going to let go of our left. And I'm going to gather up some yarn here around my finger. Alright, we're going to re-pinch the end piece here, and then once again slide our hook down towards our thumb. And once we get there, we're going to pinch where it crosses so that we can no longer slide this hook up or down. and then I'm going to yarn over. So a yarn over is basically putting the yarn over the hook. So yarn over like this. We're going to pull this yarn through this loop. So let's do that. All right. So now we have one loop on our hook. I'm going to take my hand and overhand the hook like this. So my hand is over the hook. I'm going to repinch this end piece. You don't want to lose this, but I want to tighten up this knot so that it's closest to my thumb. So let's do that now. Just keep pushing, pushing, pushing till that knot can no longer move and it's a bit tight. So from here, we can take our thumb and middle finger and just pull out this excess piece a little bit. You're going to feel a little give, and then it'll stop. You don't have to go crazy. You can stop once it stops, but we just wanted to tighten up this knot just a little bit more. And then I'm going to grapple onto this knot and slide it up towards the hook. I want to leave some room because we are now going to do our chains. So the chain stitch is basically the basic stitch in crocheting. So what I want you to do is just hold on to this knot here. This is going to stabilize your project, and then you can take your hook just like this. I put my hand back under the hook. We're going to do a yarn over. So again, take this yarn and put it over the hook just like that. And then we're going to pull this strand through this loop. So let's do that now. All right, and that's basically it, a chain stitch. How simple is that? So now I'm going to, we have to do this a bunch of times, but I'm going to show you this 2 more times. I want you to yarn over. That's putting this yarn over the hook like that. We're going to pull this strand through this loop to do another chain, just like that. So now we have 2 chains on here. Let's do this one more time with you guys. So let's do a yarn over, this yarn over the hook, like that. We're going to pull this through this loop, like that, to do a chain. Alright, so while we're here, because I finished showing this to you 3 times, I'm going to go my normal speed after this. But take a look at this 3 chains. It looks like a French braid. We've got a loop to the left, loop to the right for each braid. When we turn it on its side, you can see that there's also humps on the back. Alright, let's keep note of that. And then I'm fully turning it on to its, its back side is facing. And that's what the 3 humps look like. So I'm just showing you everything that comprises of 1 chain. Alright, and we'll revisit this whole explanation later. But for now, I'm going to be continuing the rest of the chains, so you can do that as well. Alright, and then once you complete that, you could always double check your count. I'm going to recount this real quick. So from the hook, you can start counting 3, 5. Alright, so as you practice this more, and I highly recommend it, just spend a good 15 to 30 minutes making a bunch of chains. And the goal is to make sure that each chain is as close to the same size of each other. That makes a consistent chain down the line. So if you can work on that while you're, just whatever, whenever, that would be really great to hone that skill. Alright, so for round 1, we have to, from the second chain from the hook. Alright, so when they say second chain from the hook, you have to count the chains from the hook. So looking at this is 1 chain, this is 1 chain. So 1, 2. Now they do this because we're going to start a row. So this is our chain stitches, and then we're going to build a whole row over it. The 2 chains here, it's going to create the height of the stitch. Alright, so that's why they have you skip some. We are going to be doing single crochet stitches. If it was anything bigger, a half double crochet stitch, a double crochet stitch, they would probably ask you to skip more chains, but you don't need to worry about that in this video. So from the second chain from hook, we are going to stick our hook into the second chain from hook. Now I showed you all the components of a chain because when you stick your hook into a chain, especially when you're starting off like this, I recommend sticking it in the back hump or bump. I think this booklet calls it a bump. Alright, so you just simply see the chains in the front. We're going to turn this on its side, and you can see those little humps in the back. We're going to use those. That way, when we stick our hook in the back hump, you still retain the beautiful braid in the front here. So that's why we do it. So count 2 chains from hook, 1, 2. We're going to stick our hook into the second chain. I've turned this on its side, and I'm going to stick my hook into that back hump, just like that. So just to further show you, here's the back hump. Let's flip this on the other side, and you kind of protected that chain, that braid looking thing right there. All right. So from here we can do a single crochet stitch. A single crochet stitch, another basic stitch in crocheting, starts out as you sticking your hook into the next stitch. Then from here, what you do is we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull up a loop like that. So now you have 2 loops on your hook, and then from here you do a yarn over and you pull through both loops like that, and that's it. Simple single crochet stitch. Here's the braid. Every stitch ends up having a braid on top, so make note of that. But now I'm going to show you this again because we're basically doing this all the way down. So stick your hook into the next stitch over. Here's the braid. Switched it on its side. I'm putting this in the back bump. All right, then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops. Then you're going to yarn over again, and we're going to pull through both loops. So now we have our 2 single crochet stitches. You can see the 2 beautiful braids there on top. This is that chain that gives it the height. It'll all flatten out in the end, don't worry. Alright, one more time with you guys. So in the next stitch, stick your hook into the bump, the back bump. Alright, we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. Okay, so now I'm just going to go all the way down to the end. So you can rewind the video if you need to do a step-by-step just a little bit longer. You can pause the video so you can catch up. You can speed up the video if you got this. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I really appreciate it. Again, this booklet is so super cute. This was a planned multiple projects on my list because I want to gift these to my goddaughter in August. So there's not much time left. It just flew by. But yeah, I'm going to pump these out and then post, schedule a post after the fact if I don't get to posting everything before August. But I was intending on doing 1 section a week. So last week I did all the breakfast pieces. This week I'm going to do all the lunch pieces. I think we have snack, we have dinner, and we have dessert. So you're definitely going to be seeing these for the next few weeks. I am going to mix up the knitting on top of that, so don't worry, I'm going to get down with that list too. And then thereafter, I have a whole new, like I have a whole bunch of projects lined up, you guys. It's been a backup of stuff, and going out and buying more stuff doesn't really help either. Yeah. Okay, let me just read ahead here. Oh, this is not gonna be fun. Alright, last one here. You see how you have that little excess piece? I'm gonna try to hide that. And what you do is you want to get your yarn over that bit here. And you want to try to flatten this with your middle finger onto the hook. But we're gonna yarn over. And we're gonna pull up a loop like we do with the single crochet stitches, so it kind of has it right now. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. Hopefully this stays. If not, no worries, we could always trim it, but see, that's how you can hide your excess pieces within the stitch. We finished up the row here, and it wants you to chain one and turn. So yarn over and pull through the loop to chain one, and turning means, all right, so we have this, right? It's mostly on the right side of your hook. Turning basically means just turning it counter. I guess you would say it's counter. But you want your row to be on the left side, mostly on the left side, because then these become all the stitches we have to do next. Alright, so for the next round, and this is a doozy. So this booklet recommends that you get markers. Stitch markers are a super great ultra way of keeping track of not only the number of stitches you're doing, but the number of rows you're doing. So what we're going to do, if you have not got these yet, you might have difficulty in the next few rows. But if you got these, kudos, buddy. Alright, so for rows 2 through 17, we are going to be doing the same instruction, and it's a lot, especially if you've got stuff to do. School, work, wash dishes, chores, whatever, take a phone call. Yeah, you just can't sit there all day and do all this jazz. So we've got these stitch markers. So I'm going to dump these out. I'm going to put one here, actually. We did our chain one. I'm just going to mark this, and this is going to be marked as row 2. So this will tell me, hey, you've got to do row 2 next. Alright, and I'm turning. I'm going to lay this down like that. So we have to do up to 17. So what I'm going to do is, if this is 2, this will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and one more. Let's see. I like to make the colors different. 17. Alright, so now we have our 17 markers. You can put these back into their container. I got these from all the kits that I've done, believe it or not. I have not purchased. If you buy these at the hobby store online, they're a few bucks. But I got mine all included in kits I've done, and I've saved them. So anytime you get extra stuff like this, needles, hooks, you want to keep them all because you never know when you're going to use them again. Alright, you guys, so I'm going to do the next rows in silence, but the first one here, I'm going to do with you. So let me just gather up some yarn. I always gather up a lot of yarn around my finger, which isn't kind of normal, but that's fine. I'm not normal. It's okay. Do it how you want to do it. Alright. So we're basically doing single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. The same thing we just did. We're going to be doing this so many times, but for the 17th row, the last row, we're not going to be doing a chain stitch. Okay, so I'm getting this here. Let us start the next. All right, so you'll know which where to put your hook because it's going to be where the marker is. All right, so we chained one. We're going to do our single crochet stitch. Stick your hook in the first stitch. That's where your marker is. All right, we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and they had you chain 1 to create the height of the row. All right, next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. All right, so now I'm going to continue down all the way down, and then I'm going to show you how to do that chain stitch. So, and this is great practice as well. Once you have mastered consistency in the chains, I would take the opportunity on your time off to practice on the single crochet stitch. The idea is to make sure that each single crochet stitch is the same size and that the braid on the top is the same length, because sometimes we'll pull the tension in our arms will be lighter at times, looser at times, and then when you have a loose stitch on top, it just gets really messy. So sometimes you can hide it, but it would be great. It's the same thing like, you know, when you're little and you practice writing your alphabet, you just have to write it over and over again, and then eventually you get it. And that's, I think, the best way to learn how to do, you know, this skill, because it may be difficult in the beginning, but in the long run, you are going to enjoy it. Because that unlocks so many other projects. You can do doilies, you can do blankets, you can do covers for anything, like, you know, your books, your chapsticks, you know, just, it's endless. You can end up making clothes, which I actually am not, you know, good at, and I don't have patience for that, so kudos to you if you do it. So I might have one more, I'm not sure, because there's no marker, but we'll see. Let's count back here. Yeah, I gotta do one more. You should have, you should use your whatchamacallit instructions. They give you the stitch count at the end. So, alright, so the end is usually kind of difficult because it's bent, but you want to slip it underneath the braid, and you know the braid comes with one loop, then it comes with the other loop next to it, so you want to make sure you get that. And just making sure that you get all of that correctly just leads to consistency in your stitches. Okay, so making the last one for this row. Alright, so now after we complete that, we have to do our chain 1. Before we chain 1, let's just take our marker now, and we're going to stick this underneath the braid. Okay? Just like that. Make sure you clear it. Don't pierce any yarn. Alright, then we can do our chain. So we yarn over and pull through the loop. We have our chain 1, and then you just turn. And then we can start our next row. So it should look something like this, you guys. Comment below, let me know how you're doing so far. I'm going to play this video out, but it's going to be in silence. We've got a ton of things here. And so when I say you can do whatever you want under the sun, do whatever you want under the sun. These markers are going to keep track, and as long as I know that I have to use all of these up, I know that I'm on the right track. So remember, the last row that you end up making, do not do the chain one. All right, in silence. Alright, so I completed rounds 2 through 17. Kept the markers in. I want to leave them in because we're going to do the sides and I want to be able to have a clear distinction of where these rows are, so it'd be easier for me to crochet around the sides, and I'll show what I'm talking about later. But let's do round 18. So we don't do the chain one, but for round 18 we're going to do a single crochet stitch around the 3 edges. Okay, I'm guessing that's 3 edges here. What? Alright. To do this, begin by placing a single crochet stitch in the same space as the last single crochet stitch we made. So basically we're going to put our hook back into that same stitch that we did the last single crochet stitch, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch. All right, alright, so now it says that this will help turn the work so that you can work along the sides. Single crochet stitches, do 15 of them. Alright, so it's going to be 15 across, and I kind of counted, I think there's 8 markers on here, so almost every marker is going to have 2 stitches. Okay, so that's what I mean by leaving these markers in. So I guess I can put my hook where the marker is, do a single crochet stitch, remove the marker. Then I'm going to put one in between those 2 markers, which would be here, and do another single crochet stitch. So that's 2. Then I'm going to put my hook where the marker is. So that would be 3. In between the 2, this will be 4. Here, this will be 5. In between, this will be 6. Here. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. And 15. Okay. Alright, then it says an increase in the corner space. So let me see here. All right, so Let me show you what an increasing stitch is. Basically, it's putting 2 single crochet stitches in 1 stitch. So we're going to put our hook into the corner here. So we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in here. So do 1, then stick your hook back in that same stitch and do 2. So that's basically an increasing stitch. Alright, so then after we do that, we have to do 20 single crochet stitches across. This bit should be easier because you can see the stitching. So let's do that. And that's because we had, if you had in the beginning, after we did those chains, put the hook in the back bump, then you'll be able to see these stitches nicely. So that's the other reason why I like doing that. It's harder to do it when you can't see the stitches. Alright, so after you do 20, then we're going to do an increasing stitch in the corner space. So do 2. One, 2. Okay. And then on this side, we're going to do 15 single crochet stitches. Just get more yarn here. All right. So there's about 8 markers on here again, so we're going to do I guess the one in between. Let me see. Yeah, one in between. So one in the marker, and they're facing the other way now, so it might be difficult to see, but 2, just do your best. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. And 15. Okay, let's remove this. Now after the 15, then single crochet stitch into the fourth corner. So let me just see here. We have to make sure we have 75 stitches at the end. So let's just count back 78 stitches from the hook. It's going to take about a minute, but at least you make sure that you have the right amount of stitches because that's more important. 20. Right, so in this last corner here, I do a single crochet stitch. All right, so we have our 78, and we have to chain 1, but it does not count as a stitch, so make sure you have 78 at this point, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to move on to round 19. So now for round 19, it says we're going to be using the back loops only, BLO. So a back loop only is, I'll show you what it is. When you put your hook into the next stitch, and let me just recount this because I need to make sure I put this in the 78th stitch. 3, 5, 8. So light colored that I get lost in it. 78. All right, so we have this stitch here. You see how I mentioned the braid consists of 2 loops? When we look at the braid this way, before when I was showing you, it was up and down. This time it's horizontal. So there's still 2 loops. This is now called the front loop. This is called the back loop. So whenever we do our stitches, and it's going to be all the way around for this round, we're going to stick our hook into the back loop. So instead of putting it in like this, how we've always done it with the 2 loops, we are now only going to use the back loop, which is this loop here, and we're going to stick our hook in like that. So now it's just the one loop. Alright, and then here's the other one from that braid. We're only utilizing the back loop. So stick your hook back here, and then you're going to go about your single crochet stitch like that. And then, so now you have your single crochet stitch, and you have that front loop still just chilling because we're not using it. Let me show you again. So into the next stitch, we're going to use the back loop only. So stick your hook into that back loop like that, and continue with your single crochet stitch. Right, so now you should have two. So here's one, here's two, and then you still have your little loops that we didn't use, the front loops that we didn't use. Let's do this one more time. So take your next stitch, use the back loop only, stick in your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now you have your 3 single crochet stitches, and then you have your 3 loops that we didn't use. So we just got to do this all the way around. I'm going to continue the rest of this round in silence. And so the next rounds will be worked in a continuous spiral. So rather than do the chain, you know what, I'll stop at 19 and I'll show you what they're talking about. So let's first focus on doing the rest of the single crochet stitches using the back loop only. Alright, so I continued doing the 78 single crochet stitches. And it says the next rounds will be worked in continuous spiral. So, just so we keep track of the rows, because we have to do 20 through 24, I'm going to be taking a marker right under the last stitch we made. This is going to be for round 20. And then we're going to do 23, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm going to set these aside. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm going to complete these. So rather than do the chain one like we've always been doing, we are going to be skipping that. And we're going to be going all the way around. And after we go all the way around for round 20, making 78, we're going to put the marker into that last stitch and then continue on. No chain space, no chain stitch. So this is going to be a way how we keep track of all those other stitches. I did want to come back in and say real quick that we're gonna be using both front and back loops now. See how we stuck it into front and back loops. Alright, not unlike the first round where we did just the back loop. So we're going back to normal. We're putting the marker in the last stitch we made until we complete all of our markers. Alright, so I've completed rounds 20 through 24. If you're wondering how I got this, because we did back loops, it kind of makes like this natural pinch on that edge. So when you start doing these sidewalls, they kind of automatically want to curve in. So if you ever wanted stability on this, I would recommend making 2 of these and then cutting a little piece of cardboard and sewing it along the edge, and then cutting 4 pieces of cardboard on the sides and then sealing it on top and on the corners if you wanted some stability. I'm just going to leave this as is, but we have completed all the rounds. So I'm going to take off all these markers. And this was a lot all at once, so my hands are a little out of practice, but they are like tired. Like, please no more. Alright, so after we complete our 24th round, it says to fasten off and weave ends. So to do that, I'm just gonna cut, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 inches, I don't, you know, something like that. And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna yarn over the hook, and I'm gonna pull this through the loop and all the way out like this. And we're gonna pull this end so that that loop kind of tightens up, creating that knot. And then we're just gonna weave in and out the end here. So I'm just gonna go in each stitch, just do a yarn over and pull it all the way out down the line until that piece is disappeared. If there is at the very end sticking out, you could always trim it. If you really don't want it to stick out on the edge, you could try just weaving it down below so that it just sticks out down below, but I'm just gonna go along the edge here. And then we're going to move on to the next pieces of the bento. So stick with me, click on that notification bell so you do not miss a single video. And again, I am focusing more on these on this crochet cafe booklet, but I am going to be throwing in some of the snack knit kits because I've got a long list of requests, and I do want to get those out as well. So there might be at least a snack knit kit once a week. So hopefully everyone will be able to have something they want to see on this channel. Okay. And that's it. This is our little bento box, you guys. Comment below, let me know what you think. You could always make this box for something else. See, this you can trim off. I'm just going to leave it on there. But yeah, we are well on our way, and then the next time we pop in to continue this crochet cafe booklet, we're going to be working on it's called the octopus hot dog. Yeah, this is going to be very intricate for those that are not accustomed to exotic cuisine. This will be different, but I'm accustomed to it, so can't wait. Alright, you guys, so thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.